Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Innal hamdalillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, all praises be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us all the sustenance which we need. Alhamdulillah. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, inshallah we will continue with our discussion. Today's hadith, وعن عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول اللهم إني أعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وغلبة العدو وشماتة الأعداء رواه النسائي وصححه الحاكم. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr radhiyallahu anhuma, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min ghalabati dain. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from being overcome by debt. Wa ghalabatil adu, from being overpowered by the enemy. So there's a footnote for this, which is being overcome by debt means that a person becomes incapable of paying up his debts, and this situation occurs when a person no longer harbors any intention of paying it at all. Whoever makes a sincere effort to pay his debts, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will certainly assist him in accomplishing this by giving him solvency, as mentioned in a hadith reported by Al-Bukhari. So when we look at the first one, is overcoming debt. If we seek Allah by asking, Ya Allah, if we have debt, let we or ease our affair in paying back the debt. First of all, we ask a question. Why we have debt? This is the first question. We don't talk about the ruling, can we have debt or not? We ask why we have debt. Okay? When we have debt, so this question we answer ourselves lah. I don't need the answer here. Different people have different reason. So when we have debt, one of the reason we have debt because we are not able to pay back. We are not able to buy something cash. All Singaporeans will have debt when you buy a house. That's standard. All Singaporeans will have a debt when you purchase a car. Maybe majority lah. Some of them, they can buy cash. Okay? So even house also, okay? So I've seen some of them, they sell this house, they're able to, another house they purchase fully all paid. Okay? So here comes for these two things, 100% there's a debt. Okay? After that, beside that, other stuffs you are going to purchase. Some you are able to buy cash, some debt, monthly installment. So here comes the question is that, you really need the thing. You are purchasing it monthly payment. So you need to pay installment. where we put it under debt. Okay, even hospital bill. Sometimes some of them, after insurance covered certain things, you still got a big amount. So you tell the hospital, I pay monthly. After that, suddenly you change your mind, you don't want to pay. Debt is a debt. It's a compulsory for us as a Muslim to pay back the debt. Okay. So why we ask Allah this dua is, may Allah give us the strength by saving more money to ease our affair in paying back debt. Especially those who have debt. It's really very stressful. It's not easy. I can give one simple example in my own life. I can say paying a car. Every third of the month, make sure I must have $500 in my account. I eat, I don't eat, there's a different story. But I need a $500 for the bank to deduct for the car. Okay? So even like got 510, make sure I don't touch the money first. Let the 500 out first, then I can breathe in. Okay? But so far, it's not a burden for me. But in a way that I every time have to maintain that, this is something like. So we can imagine how difficult for a person who have a debt. So that's why we need to ask Allah's dua for Him to ease us. Let's say, ease in what way? Our health. We don't ask Him directly, Ya Allah, give me the... When you ask this dua, Allahumma inni a'udzubika min ghalabati dain. You don't run away from them. You don't have a bad intention, but you want Allah to give you the power, give you the energy, give you the sustenance for you to overcome the debt which you had. It can be due to any reason, as long as it's a good reason. You debt because of gambling or maksiat. For sure that person will not ask Allah for dua unless he taubat. Okay? So when we look at this, so that's why this dua is very important. And debt is one of a big matter in Islam. There was a companion in the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. They brought the janazah to the Prophet mosque. And they invited Prophet to lead the prayer. Before Prophet lead the prayer, Prophet asked, does this janazah has any debt? So they say yes. I can't remember whether it's 1 dinar or 1 dirham. One is correct, but dinar or dirham I can't remember. Then Prophet says, who's going to settle this debt? Nobody answered. He asked 3 times, nobody answered. So Prophet walked back to his room. Then one of them said, Ya Rasulullah, I will settle the debt for him. So he asked 3 times, confirm you're going to settle? He said yes. Then Prophet lead the prayer. After next day or few days later, that Sahaba go and tell, Ya Rasulullah, I've settled his debt. So after he have said that, then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he already free from the torturement of the grave for his debt. So from here, what we understand the moral of this hadith is, a person who has debt, if the debt is not settled, when the person die, that will be the first thing will be questioned. That's why when we see the janazah below, before the janazah is taken away for burial or prayer, normally the family members will say that, please halal all the food and drink. Then followed by, if this janazah, my father, my mother or whoever, at any debt, you can come and see me or any of my family members after this, or maybe after the burial. Why they say this thing? Because now the person passed on already. So if still there is, if not settled, come and let us know. We will talk and we will settle behalf of them. So debt is not something like some of them, oh, I got a lot of debt, what I do, I commit suicide. It's not you commit suicide, you settle everything. If you did not settle, you will be questioned that in the year after. Now you got no money. In the year after, you got money to settle, is it? No money, what? Live also not peacefully, die also not peacefully. So sometimes people don't understand because they are too stressed. Mentally, they can't think. That's why they make unrightful decision. So that's why we need to understand. Even remember if the debt is 10 cents. And remember in our this current era, what we do, we go out with friends. Friend pay for us drink. Let's say now teh tarik 120. Okay. Let's say we sit with friend order. Later on friend pay. So we should ask the friend, this one you belanja or I must pay you back? We assume he belanja. Assume, he didn't say. Okay, there's no verbal agreement. At the end, that 120 can be asked in the year after. Because he did not clearly say anything. Oh, Ustaz, I assume what? How can you assume? Same thing, if you think this is not belanja, you must tell your friend, frankly, your friend want to give. Later. Later say loudly. Eat first, later you pay me. Then it's clear it's not belanja. Like that. Then you mumble yourself later. People say, people thought like that is a sign of you belanja. Okay. So it's very, very important. Even within family members. Because this is individual responsibility. Even it is, Ustaz, it's a $1, even it's $1. It's very important. Debt is very important. Okay, whether small amount, big amount, we need to clarify it. And if we have debt, remember when we are taking debt, make sure that this debt is something we are in need. That's it, Maqasid Sharia taught us 3 Qa'idah. Daruriyah, Hajiyah and Tahsiniyat. Is it a darurat? Is it a must for you? Like house. House is a must for us. So we want, we like, we don't like, we have to have debt with HDB or with bank. Why? We need the house. If not, where are we going to stay? When we talk about vehicle, transportation, so you want to buy a car, you want to buy a motor, so you need to ask yourself, are you in the state of daruriyah? You need a bike? You need a car? Or is a one? One means if you don't have also still okay. Or I buy to show people I can afford. That's tahsiniyat. You have it, it beautify your life. But why are you buying it for? You have unnecessary debt. At least house, if I die, my family members sell, they get something. Car. I remember last time when I want to purchase a car, this Ustaz tell me, Ustaz, car is actually not a luxury for us, no. When we drive, it's a big burden for our family. Then when I change my second car, COE car, then I do calculation. Yeah, correct. Sometimes I don't get any breakdown also. Nothing. I'm in a loss ada lah. So there comes the things that we must really, before we make a decision, we must know. Especially we are purchasing things. Okay, you buy this 12 months, monthly you pay this amount. Oh, stop, monthly I pay this, afford. But you ask yourself, sometimes we want to pay our Singtel bill also sometimes cannot afford. Sometimes scratch the head. Because we got Mio TV lah, this one, we subscribe, that channel, this channel, all kind of channel we take. First we take, we didn't think. Monthly want to pay, then become a big burden. Sometimes people pay, their pay is not fixed pay, freelance. Or maybe some work temporarily. So all these things we need to consider before we engage ourselves into debt. We must know which is a necessary debt, which we can't run away. We have to. Okay? There are debts where we don't find for it. Because when we have a lot of debt, we have a big headache of paying it back. Okay, there are some people, Allah. That's why Islam forbid us for gambling. Gambling will increase our debt. Because why? We borrow, we throw. We don't get anything. Maybe first time you win little bit, but how much you throw? You throw 1,000, you get $50. you lost $950 one time. If this is going to be 4 times, going to be about 3,000. You only earn 200. It don't make sense. So here comes the thing. That's why Islam, when forbid something, it's good for ourselves. But borrowing money, it will not fall into a forbidden part unless something happens. They can be haram. So that's why before we fall ourselves into borrowing money or have a debt, think twice. Is it a must? If not, wait, save first. So that is where we ask Allah for dua to give us or refuge in you from being overcome by debt. Second, from being overpowered by the enemy. Okay, so for this, the overpowering of an enemy is that a man find himself incapable of even avenging himself against a tyrant or a transgressor who was wronged him. Okay, so Islam teaches us always we do and fight for the right, for the truth. Okay, but in a right way, in a proper way. If you're wrong, prove it nicely, properly. Okay, Islam teaches us adab. And the miraculous joy of the enemies at an evil I'm not afflicted with. So we're asking Allah to always save us from any evil act which will come to us. Actually, this dua is a part of the dua where just now the Imam recited, Allahumma inni a'udzubika min azabi jahannam wa na'udzubika min azabi jahannam wa na'udzubika min ghalabati daini wa qahri rijal. There are few du'as Prophet taught us. And we can recite this dua even after our tahiyat akhir before the salam. After we recite fil alamina innaka hamidum majid, Allahumma inni a'udzubika min azabin nar wa na'udzubika min azabi jahannam wa na'udzubika min fitnati masih dajjal wa na'udzubika min fitnati mahya wal mamat wa na'udzubika min al-ma'thami wal maghram. There are also a few dua. Allahumma a'inni ala zikrika wa syukrika wa husni ibadatik. And before we give the salam. Why Prophet ask us? We seek Allah's refuge from all these things. We don't be a coward. Okay? We always do the right. Be truthful to ourselves. We don't cheat ourselves. We don't cheat other people. So remember, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, so if we are, whatever we are planning in our daily life, for our family, for ourselves, so make sure, do the right planning, think wisely and decide wisely. Do not make a wrong move. Don't put ourselves in something which we should not be there. Whatever we do, even sometimes people get new BTO flat. I would like to decorate my house. They spend renovation only up to 100K. Sometimes when I hear, I can find the world is spinning 3 times faster. But I cannot say anything. Why? It's your money. But here comes the thing is that, Ustaz, I save a lot, yes. But we ask ourselves, we want our house to be home sweet home. But in the same time, what we are doing, is it really necessary? After 3, 4 years, 5 years, I want to sell the house. Then you see you are not making money. Then you start to grumble. You see, because of you, I spent so much. Because of you, because of this, because of that. Allah give us common sense for us to think logically. Do not follow our desire. You go to the designer, I don't know what they call it. They will offer you all kinds of things when you see, wow. But we think what we really need. Because we will never know. This money now you spend. Later on you need for other important thing, no money. What happened? You need to end up in a debt. So that is where we sometimes will fall in the trap. And if we are going to have a debt, borrow the money from a proper person. Not borrowing from unlawful person, where it also gives us a big problem. Nowadays, a lot of WhatsApp message. You want easy loan. Wow, they can give you a big number, everything. I'm not small number. 4, 5 digits, 6 digits. Sometimes I also receive. Okay, so always remember, approach the right one, the correct one. Islam teaches us the correct way. What we need, we try to work out on that wisely. Wallahu alam bisawab. Inshallah, Allah wills, we will continue next week. Next week, there's no effect of our kuliah because it's Wednesday. Public holiday is Tuesday. So our Wednesday kuliah is as per norm. Inshallah, we will meet next week. Thanks a lot for your time. Let's end by saying tasbih kafaran surah to us. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika asyhadu la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asr inna insana fi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus solihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Aqulu qawli hadza wa astaghfirullahal azim li wa lakum wa billahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
حي على الفلاح